Hello, Libra, Sun, Moon, and Rising. These are your messages for November. Let's see what we have coming up for you. Great start. We have the Nine of Cups coming up. Now, the Nine of Cups is the wish card. Yes. It's a little different in this deck, and actually it's a little different in your spread. But overall, and for a lot of you, I'm hoping, the Nine of Cups represents your heart's desire. Like either, being very clear on it. That's what November's all about for you, going after your heart's desire. That sounds really obvious. It sounds like everyone always does that, right? They don't. Not everyone does, because going after your heart's desire requires faith, requires hope. We don't always have that. So if this is coming up as an underlying energy, November could be about, redefining your heart's desire or going after your heart's desire, even receiving it for some of you. I'm hoping for a lot of you, but, for a few of you, yes. The Nine of Cups would represent getting your wish. It's the yes card. I usually say when people book readings with me, like not to ask a yes, no. I mean, obviously people still do, but it's always best not to ask the tarot a yes, no question because they're not designed for that. It's designed to give you advice. But if there was a yes card, then this is the card that is yes. The answer to your question is yes with the Nine of Cups because it's your wish. It's your heart's desire. Now, I said all that. And we have 9 cups here. And we have this little boy. I think it's a little boy. He doesn't look very happy, right? He has 9 cups. Usually in the 9 of Cups, the guy looks thrilled. He looks very kind of smug as hell. Like, he has 9 cups. He looks miserable. Sat there. And there's a gap there. It's like he's missing one. So, there is the darker element to this card. Each card has a darker element and a lighter one. Is greed. This can indicate greed. So he has 9. He's not happy because he wants the 10th. He wants the 10th one. So you could be dealing with someone like that, that's not satisfied. It could be you, that even though it feels like you've gotten your heart's desire, it's not really like, you want something more. It's not enough. You need more. The reason I went with the greed element, I don't usually with the 9 of Cups, is, well, for a couple of reasons. This is the first one. We have the Devil coming up at the heart of your reading. Now, the Devil can indicate addictions. Basically, the basic meaning of the Devil card is what has power over us. What has power over us? Now, it's the card for Capricorn. And I always get a Capricorn or two that don't like it when I say that about this card. You're not the devil, Capricorn. That's not what this card says. It's called the Devil. The card is called the Devil, but it talks about power, integrity. What has power over you? And that's what the sign of Capricorn governs. It's about who governs us. What are our governing bodies? Governments, the financial institutions. Integrity, that's what Capricorn is totally about. So I'm going on about Capricorn. I know this is Libra's reading, but I just wanted to explain that because sometimes we get people with Capricorn placements that don't like it when the Devil card comes up and it's their card. It's a great card, actually, because it's actually telling you to look at what has power over you. For example, I could drink a glass of wine now, and I say this in all of my readings as well whenever this card shows up. I could drink a glass of wine now. It'd be a bit weird in the video, but it doesn't mean anything. It doesn't have power over me. It's just me enjoying a glass of wine. If, on the other hand, I need a bottle or 2 a night, then there's something with that. Like, why do I need a bottle or 2 a night? Why does it have that power over me? Why do I need it? Then we look deeper because that's something holding me back. It's now suddenly has power over me. It's different. It goes the same with drugs or sex or porn or whatever it is that we get addicted to. This can be old behavioral patterns. Like, doing something nice for one person, it's not a bad thing. When we're kind of putting ourselves out and repeatedly doing things for people that cost us, that could be codependency. That's not so healthy then, right? So that's what the Devil does. That's what this card is. It asks you to look at what has power over you, what's holding you back. Because ultimately, and it's not a really nice thing to say, especially when you're talking about addiction. Addiction is an illness, and I do believe it is an illness. If there is an addiction, ultimately you have to take steps. I mean, I was talking to someone the other day who they kicked a drug habit, and we were having a discussion about this. He actually wrote an article or something he posted somewhere, and he was talking about this, that you can't force people. You can't take it upon yourself to help someone. It doesn't work like that. And he was, as a recovering addict, he was talking about this. And that's what this kind of talks about, that, it's up to the person. So even that asking for help, that person has to ask for help. that is freeing yourself. And that's what the devil talks about, that you have the power to free yourself. Now, I'm talking about addictions. It can go all the way to like behavioral patterns, the way we interact with people, our responses, like something comes up and we start acting like, some people, I call it the zombie mode. Like, you know, when you just retreat and you don't share what's going on with you, that might be an unhealthy behavioral pattern that you have. So that kind of is this. I'm going on about this a little bit because this does come up again later on in your reading, and it's at the heart of your reading. So you may be dealing with someone who has addictions. You may be freeing yourself. I mean, that's where you might be. You might have an addiction to something, you know, behavioral pattern. You might be feeling stuck. This can be, like, we say the word addiction to it. It could be karmic ties. Like, you know, you'll feel like you're tied to a situation or a person. But it's saying that you can free yourself. That's what the devil says. You have the power to take back control in this situation. And it kind of feels like you're doing that, to be completely honest. We have the 9 of Swords coming up as a past energy. So you didn't feel like you could for a long time. This just stressed you out. Maybe you weren't even talking about it. No one knew how bad the situation was. You've been hiding it. You've just been thinking about it. You've probably not been showing anyone. This is, as much as Swords talk about, oh God, what am I saying? Our ideas, our beliefs, our thoughts, you know, and how we communicate them. This is one of the cards that shows no communication. It's when we try to sleep at night and we can't even sleep because the stress, the anxiety is keeping us up. So you've gone through this and you've passed through this. You're not doing this now. Because look, now we have, so in the present, we have the 6 of Pentacles. Now, the 6 of Pentacles, it's a kind of balance. It's about give and take, equal give and take. It's usually called a charity card, which I don't really like for it. But, you know, it looks like an act of charity, right? He's giving to the poor. But he gets something out of this too. They are giving him the opportunity to do something good. He has surplus. He can share it with others and feel good about it. They don't have surplus. They don't have anything. So, you know, they're receiving with gratitude from this person. So this is give and take. Now, if this is a relationship, this is equal give and take within that relationship, is balance. If this is about finances, this is going to be like compensation for the work that you do, fair compensation for the work that you do. If you haven't been getting paid. Now, I like this. I like this about this. Because it feels like that balance, and I know it's a bit of a cliche, but that balance is what you want. That's your heart's desire. For some of you, that's all you wanted, like to get the fair payment, or to be heard, to be seen within the relationship, to have that balance restored. It's coming back in. I mean, it's not your card. It's not justice. That would be like the major arcana version of this. But this is at some level, yes. I get for a lot of you, it's financial, because I know there's been financial stuff that's been coming up. But with this 9 of Cups, it feels like even if you want more, even if your heart's desire is to get more, you know, with that missing cup there, that's not your heart's desire. You're getting somewhere now. There's balance at least. So the books are getting balanced, or, you know, there's give and take within the relationship. There's balance. These two, I see the greed element. When this comes up with this can be someone who has a drinking problem, right? So there's a greed element in this. These two, no. This feels more innocent, more, you know, balanced. That's what you guys are all about. There's more balance here. There's more fairness here. Where does that lead? Well, we have coming up in the future, we have the World card. Now, the World, it's a card of a successful completion of a cycle. It's the last card of the major arcana. It can talk about karmic situations coming to an end. Because the thing with this, the reason I say that is it's the card for Saturn. I think that's, yeah, we have Saturn symbol there at the bottom. It's the card for Saturn. Saturn is the Lord of Karma. So even sometimes we get to the end of something and it feels like it just destroyed us. That, you know, we feel like we didn't do anything or it didn't work out well for us. Whatever it is, this card is saying you've successfully completed it. You've learned all your lessons. You've cleared your karma. You've done whatever you needed to do. Take a breath because you're going to get ready to go again. Now, this can be a bit of a frustrating energy because you kind of feel like some things have ended, but something new hasn't begun yet. I like it with this sat above it because it kind of feels like this might have been, a situation that kind of was ending or supposed to end, or you were trying to free yourself, break the chains. It will do. With the World card coming in, that's a great card. And it does talk about the completion. It completes, that cycle completes. And it's a successful completion, right? And that's when people are like, I didn't successfully do anything. But you have that echoed here. You have the Six of Wands coming up as your advice card. This is telling you this is a success. This is a victory card. It's recognition for whatever you've done. It's being able to take pride in your work, being recognized for what you've done. If you're trying to, sometimes this can come up when we're trying to get noticed for something. And it feels like, all right, this is a very strange interpretation of this, and I wouldn't normally do this, but it's just because this is coming up and it's kind of come to me. Some of you are going to, it's as if, all right, I don't usually talk about anything to do with like health or mental health or anything. This could be that someone's been very depressed, like you. I think it's you, like, wherever you've been mentally. I don't want to use depressed lightly because depression is an illness too, but that kind of stress, that anxiety. I feel like no one's really noticed it as bad as it is, and that gets recognized here. And I know that's not exactly something to cheer about or celebrate, but that brings balance. Like, look at the top row. You have 2 9s there. That's almost the completion of a cycle, of one emotional cycle, one a mental cycle, like, your ideas, your thoughts. But you have the devil in the middle that's holding you back from completing. We get to the bottom row and we have the world. The world this is the completion. And the world on either side has 6s. This is balance. 6s to me can sometimes be like, if 3s are a friend, 6s to me represent groups of people as well, but like maybe family members or bigger groups that we're part of. So we have the 6 of Pentacles and we have the 6 of Wands, 2 6s on either side of the world. So there is balance being restored here. And this feels like for some of you, it's just recognition for the hard time that you've been through. For others of you, it's going to be recognition for the work. That's where you get this. You get balance. You get back what you've been putting into something. Investments, work, your relationship, whatever it is. But let's have a look and see what comes up from your oracle cards. Right. So we have coming up from the Romance Angels, first of all, codependency. Addictions are affecting your romantic life. So this is why I was talking about the devil, because these two are basically the same. The same. It may have been that you were in a relationship or are in a relationship with someone who has addictions. And it's codependency, right? So that might be, I don't want to say enabling them. Like, I want to use terms like this, but when we give too much. But this is a good thing to recognize with these two coming up, that there is more balance coming in now. There is this thing about equal give and take. When you're in a relationship with someone who has an addiction, whatever that addiction is, you can never do enough. You'll never be able to satisfy them, like whatever it is that they're addicted to does. And even with codependency, these kind of issues, they need help. And maybe that's why, with this, whatever this was that you got help with, that you overcame, it's important that it's recognized. For some people, you might be wanting to get recognized so that you can help other people with whatever it was that you went through. Right, then we have coming up from the Whispers of Love, number 3, back to what you love. And it says your current situation is giving you an opportunity to reevaluate what you want. Okay, that's, yeah. When you get to a more balanced place, when you're stressed out like this, you're not reevaluating anything. You're just overridden with all this stress and anxiety, and it's magnified and it seems so much worse, and it might be bad enough as it is, and it gets so much worse when it's in our heads. But with this balance coming in, it's allowing you the opportunity to go back to what you love, whatever that might be. Maybe you haven't been able to work, something happened and you weren't able to work, or you've been distracted from your relationship, or there's some project or some hobby that you had to drop while you were going for other things, and now you can go back to it. Now we have, I'm sorry, I hit the mic there. We have number 11 by the book coming up from the Wisdom of the Oracle. This is like the Hierophant card for me. By the book, it's conforming to like social norms, It can be the rules that we learn from our family, from our religion. Like, you know, when our family tells us to do this, is this, we were taught that when we were children, or religious institutions, or just society. And it's saying by the book, know which rules you follow. What is the book that you use? What book do you follow? I know it says book here, but it's the rules, the traditions, the customs that we have. Now, that might be where you get your stability from. If this could be something, a new spiritual practice that you've had. I know this is kind of dark undercurrent, and I've really, like I said, this may just be just for a couple of people, this message. It may not be for everyone. But there is this kind of sense of some kind of darkness here, like with the devil, with the 9 of Swords. And bloody hell, Libra, like seriously, to be able to have this as your underlying energy, well done. Like, bravo, seriously. To have had that, to be able to still at least say, this is my heart's desire, because a lot of people would not even have a wish. So for those of you that have been going through your dark night of the soul, it feels like you're coming out the other end. You're not totally there yet, but you're coming out the other end. We have coming up from Wisdom of the Hidden Realms, the Phoenix. This says it all. This is like the Judgment card. This is that kind of Pluto energy. It says, like, when we get into the land of the Phoenix, this is where it's all about death and rebirth. Because that's what the Phoenix does, right? The Phoenix rises up from the ashes, but it gets burnt to ash and then it rises up. Now, for some of you, it's telling you that no matter how difficult your situation, it will transform. There will be change. Some of you are going to be asked to let go of things, and you know that. I mean, that's not something, you may have already done that. With the 9 of Swords, you know. Maybe this balance is coming in now because you're trying to see, like, what's the fair, what is this situation fair? You know, what am I getting back? Maybe that's what you're questioning now at the beginning of November. And you realize it's not in alignment with your heart's desire. But these two, yeah. This is going to have caused you concern. You kind of know this situation. If you don't know this, if this is all alien to you, not your message, guys. But yeah, this is surrendering to change as well. That's the thing with the Phoenix card. It talks about surrendering to change. So if you know you have to let something go, you'll know it. No one can force you to do it. Don't feel like you have to. You will know in yourself. And it's that surrender, letting it happen. Transformation will take place anyway. It's very kind of complex energies coming up here. There's so much more. I guess that, because it could apply to so many different situations. And this is sometimes where I wish that, I had at least one situation to kind of hang all this onto. It's kind of, this is why I don't like doing general readings, because I have to keep the energy so general. And it would be great to kind of hone in on someone's like specific situation to see what was going on here.